この出会いはきっと運命だ。僕の名はエンポリオ。あなたはここで困難に立ち向かうことになると思う。
Hey gamers, welcome back to Game Perfection, a passion project by Karmastar Studios. I'm your host, Karma, and I'm back with another old GP series. This time, it's another addition to the New Games playlist. I love these episodes as I bring some hidden gems for you, and I don't need to talk about those already much talked about games. So, what are you waiting for, Riot? Bring that title back. The New Games for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, Episode 6. Enough introduction, let's dive right into it. Metal Hellsinger, released on the 15th of September 2022 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
There was a soul, had music inside. They called her the Unknown.
This debut game from Swedish studio The Outsiders puts you in control of a winged demon as she attempts a fiery escape from the lowest circle of hell. In this rhythm-based FPS game, attacking enemies to the beat of the game's soundtrack deals more damage than attacking randomly. Matching bullets and blows with beats increase your damage, thanks to an animated crosshair that provides visual cues synchronized with the music. At the highest level, you can take down even the most powerful enemies with a few well-timed shots. Hellsinger's weapons are not only fun to use, they also complement the game's rhythmic gunplay. Your shotgun fires on every alternate beat, whereas your twin revolvers can fire on 12 consecutive beats before reloading. Surprisingly, the game's visuals do not match the quality of its audio. There's a bigger, more vivid version of Metal Hellsinger out there somewhere that could truly rock it with the FPS greats. Judgment, released on the 14th of September 2022 on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Stadia.
The court is prepared to issue its verdict. The sentence for the defendant, Akihiro Ihara, is 6 months of penal servitude.
This is a spin-off from the 13-year-old Yakuza series, obviously an action-adventure game by Raya ga Gotoku Studio. Judgment features an entirely new cast of heroes and villains, with the exception of a few cameos from the Yakuza series. Its plot is completely self-contained, making it a no-strings-attached entry point into the Yakuza-verse for newcomers. Takayuki Yagami, the main character, has a variety of detective-oriented tools and skills at his disposal to solve both the main mission, which revolves around a serial killer stalking high-ranking underworld figures, and side cases. It's not all cracking cases and smacking faces in court. You can play the pinball machine in Yagami's office, as well as a number of classic Sega games, including the spectacularly gory House of the Dead-inspired Kamurocho of the Dead. The smooth and spectacular street fighting, a diverse array of side activities, and suspenseful serial killer-based plot of Judgment make it the best original Yakuza game of this console generation.
Starts to come out. So what do you say? Are you really right?
Train Sim World 3, released on the 6th of September 2022 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Despite the high standards set by Train Sim World 3, which is still worthwhile to download, Dovetail Games has come up with this incredibly detailed simulator title that is sure to please both fans and newcomers alike. Each locomotive has an impressive level of detail. The accuracy with which each interior is modeled from its real-life counterpart down to the last button and air vent is brilliant. There's something very relaxing about simply hopping onto a free-roaming route and exploring the train. The locomotive's sound designs are also as true to life as their in-game models, and train enthusiasts will be able to tell exactly what they're driving by sound alone. It feels like a real train journey as you travel across the various routes, whether you choose to simply go from station to station following the lifelike timetables, or take on the scenarios, a series of mission-like challenges. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, released on the 2nd of September 2022 on PC, PlayStation, and Switch.
僕には戦う理由がある。清めてやる。その汚れたる野望。お前の血でだ。君ももう人間ではないのか。ジョジョ。
Almost a decade later, CyberConnect 2's remastered and upgraded version looks to make a splash in a fighting game genre that's become more exciting and crowded in recent years. All-Star Battle R features some bold new characters, smart combat system updates, and a disappointing replacement for the original's story mode. Each era of JoJo has its own set of combat abilities and rules, resulting in battles that are both varied and enjoyable to control. Every fighter has a fighting style that corresponds to their position in the timeline, so while it succeeds in some ways as a celebration of the 35-year history of one of the most exuberant and vibrant anime and manga series out there, its online components still feel archaic in the modern era. Anime's crucial story context is almost non-existent. Nonetheless, it makes a strong case for itself with its boisterous cast, accessible yet complex combat, and solid offline modes.
生贄だ D4C のさらなる段階だ
Disney Dreamlight Valley, released on the 6th of September 2022 on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
There once was a dream world in which familiar friends, from the most heroic to the most villainous, lived together in harmony. However, as time passed, the forgetting set in. The world fell into darkness until you arrived.
A gleaming life simulator from the venerable Gameloft Studios, in which you find yourself living alongside all of your favorite intellectual property. If you're here because you have a child and are looking for a game for the child, then go for it. It will be an excellent choice. It borrows heavily from Nintendo's enormously popular life sim Animal Crossing, but instead of interacting with a cast of jabbering nobodies, your town is populated by a growing cast of beloved characters from Disney's past and present, each plucked from the voracious media empire's ever-growing Katamari ball of copyright. Introducing these instantly recognizable villagers to your magical kingdom and forging friendships with them through quests is a lot of fun, even if many of them are mundane village errands. Despite a number of bugs and a missing final act in this early access state, spending 40 hours running around in the game is worthwhile. Entropy 02, released on the 21st of August 2022 on PC.
They used to tell me it wasn't normal to be like me.
The Breadmen have made the best Half-Life 2 mod that lets you experience a campaign in the boots of the Combine bad guys. You're the bad cop, protagonist and alien overlord collaborator, and your job is to tail Gordon Freeman through Nova Prospect Prison before taking a journey to track down resistance fighter Dr. Judas Mossman in a snowy northern facility. The revamps and new additions to the tried and true Half-Life 2 combat formula are undoubtedly its most impressive aspect. New enemies, weapons, and effects have been added. There's a grenade that sends anything caught into it to Zen, and spits out strange Zen monsters in return. You can command Combine teams, deploy manhacked drones, and generally act like someone who sold their entire species for some alien overlord perks. Technically, this is a sequel to Breadman's solo mod Entropy 0, one of the best and most well-received HL2 mods of all time. This one is on a completely different scale than the first, with a larger team and a much larger scope. Thymesia, released on the 18th of August 2022 on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Overborder Studios' third-person fantasy RPG features rewarding, high-energy combat that rewards patience and familiarity, with its admittedly limited progression system standing out as something special right away. At the same time, its twisting story about a plague-torn kingdom and the secret agent who can save it, as well as the inconsistent quality of the exotic locations it takes place in, are largely undercooked, making the entire adventure easily forgettable. You must be aware of the dual nature of an enemy's life bar when slicing and dicing. Normal sword attacks damage the white portion, exposing a green bit beneath it. Unless you use your spectral claw attacks to damage the green portion of the bar, the white bar will refill. Its most inventive locations and monsters are impressive, but they're sandwiched between mundane elements. However, its aggressive combat style can be enjoyable enough due to the interesting ways in which it differs from most others in the genre. Farthest Frontier, released on the 9th of August 2022 on PC.
Life can be harsh everywhere. But in the old world, there was no hope of it ever improving. When our crops failed, the ruling class would still collect the same share, leaving our children to starve.
Craig Entertainment's advanced and detailed city builder drops you into one of 4 pleasant-looking biomes with a dozen weary settlers looking to make a new life for themselves. The basics of building and running a settlement are straightforward, and should be familiar to anyone who has played other survival city builders. Gather wood, build houses, find food, and defend yourself from wolves and bears. The truly fascinating twist here is that all food eventually spoils. Even the initial stockpile won't last much longer than the first winter, so you can't just harvest everything in sight and not have to worry about it for a long time. What really distinguishes this medieval colony builder is how all of its challenges feel historically accurate and authentic. But there's already a lot to dive deeper into thanks to the realistic depiction of food production and preservation in a Middle Ages village. PlateUp, released on the 4th of August 2022 on PC. A restaurant management roguelite developed by indie developer It's Happening with multiplayer mode and a difficulty curve steeper than a wedge of cheese. When you first see this game, you'll immediately think of Overcooked. While the basic concept of cooking, serving, and cooperating is the same, this is not a clone. Rather than following orders, you take charge in this game, designing the restaurant layout and menu before navigating 15 days of restaurant management with up to 4 players. Your profits from each day can be spent on extra items or upgrades for your kitchen, and you can also customize every aspect of the experience. It requires a sharp mind, good planning abilities, excellent communication skills, and tenacity to just play this game. Fortunately, the game allows you to practice new recipes by feeding cats. It was the ideal way for me to practice my skills while wondering if these cats ever get full. Omega Strikers, released on the 17th of September 2022 on PC. Odyssey Interactive has worked at the likes of Riot and Respawn, so they know how this PvP action strategy sort of thing works. This game has exciting gameplay with its rewarding ranked system, but it needs to prove itself in longevity. The gameplay functions similarly to a team-based Windjammers, despite being described as a game for the next generation of gamers. Each character also has 3 distinct abilities, which range from building large tofu walls to block the core, to firing laser pistols that injure opponents, to summoning little blobs of goo that can shoot on goal if the core hits them. 1 player from each 3-person team serves as the dedicated keeper. You can queue as a goalie specifically, or you may be assigned one at random. Odyssey Interactive is also providing plenty of new content to the game right away. So this was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the video and found a game from the list that you can play alone. If yes, hit that like button and subscribe to Game Perfection, as we will be bringing more amazing stuff here for you regularly. With that promise, I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, this was Karma, signing off.